Introduction to e-learning technologies and practice. When we describe e-learning or online learning, we refer to education and training that uses internet technologies. Usually, e-learning is conducted without the need for face-to-face interaction between instructor and students. Online education and training can reach groups of people who previously never had access to these learning opportunities. Even better, today many learners can use inexpensive tablets and mobile technologies to access learning. Let's discuss e-learning in more detail. In the online learning environment, some or all of the learning activities are conducted over the internet. Instructors and students do not need to be in the same physical classroom. In fact, they can be scattered across the world and still be in the same class. Most successful online learners are self-organized and self-motivated. These qualities help them work independently and stay on task without the oversight of instructors or peers. Reading and writing is a large component of the curriculum and of student work. Although many people are not strong verbal learners, it's hard to get away from it in the online environment. Anecdotally, many online learners find they are stronger in writing and reading after completing an online degree. And they also find it's a good way to learn English, as many online programs are in English. For all participants in online programs, it's important to have some technology skills in order to be successful in online learning activities. Today, the countries with the fastest growing online learning sectors are outside of the United States and Western Europe. They include India, China, and Malaysia, as well as the Eastern Bloc countries in Europe. South America is also a growing consumer of online education, with Brazil and Colombia at a whopping 26% and 20% growth rates, respectively. The Online Learning Consortium, or OLC, consists of educators, researchers, and futurists dedicated to studying online learning and instructional technologies. They believe that any learner who engages in online education should have an education that is equivalent, if not better, than that of a traditional education. They describe quality online education in terms of 5 pillars. These include learning effectiveness, faculty satisfaction, student satisfaction, scale, and access. These 5 key areas are one way to approach online learning. Let's explore these 5 pillars in more detail. Let's first visit learning effectiveness. Before anything else, online learning must deliver a high-quality learning experience. In other words, online learning should provide e-learning students the same quality of education as students in more traditional education settings. For many years, online learning has come under fire as not being as rigorous as traditional learning. However, study after study has demonstrated that there is no significant difference in the effectiveness of online learning versus traditional education methods. Further, e-learning offers new education opportunities that better cater to the individual learning styles, environment, and abilities of students. Finally, the OLC suggests that a degree should still have the same institutional qualities as the traditional degree. In other words, an online degree from Cambridge University in England should still have the same Cambridge quality and features as the traditional Cambridge degree has. The second pillar of quality is faculty satisfaction. OLC suggests that online teaching should be personally rewarding to the faculty member. This could be as a result of expanded access to new students and increased opportunities for research and publication. Faculty anxieties around the technology and the new learning environment should be reduced through backup support from tech folks. Faculty should also be involved in administrative and academic decision-making. And finally, faculty should have opportunities to receive financial incentives and prestige for teaching online. Student satisfaction is the third pillar in the quality education framework. For students, online education should be effective, providing them with the skills and knowledge as outlined in the course or program. Students should be happy with course rigor and fairness, professor interactions, and tech support. For students, a wide variety of services should be available, including technology, academic, and administrative support. In other words, students should be satisfied customers of the online learning experience. When we think about scaling up the availability of e-learning, we find that technology makes it easier for more students to have access to learning materials, faculty, and classrooms across distance. It makes quality education more affordable and opens it up to international arenas. Access falls into 3 areas of support: academic support such as tutoring, advising, and learning resources; administrative support including enrollment, financial aid, and disability resources; and technical aspects of e-learning, which include dexterity with software and hardware, reliability, and technical aspects of e-learning, which include dexterity with software and hardware, reliability of the technology, and access to help desk support. There are an abundance of theories, strategies, and methods around teaching online. Although there are too many to mention here, they include techniques for building community, keeping learners engaged, creating and offering electronic content, staying learner-centered, and offering real-world experiences and opportunities. Here are just 3 of the many educational paradigms that online education refers to often. First, let's examine synchronous versus asynchronous online learning. When we use the word synchronous, we mean live interaction experiences with class members and instructors. These can include using chat, live online webinars, and Skype. Asynchronous learning takes place over a period of time with no live interaction. Tools to support asynchronous learning include discussion boards, independent study activities, and blogs. Blended learning is a combination of both synchronous and asynchronous learning experiences. When possible, blended learning offers the best of both worlds. Students have access to materials that they can review over and over again as needed, but live opportunities build relationships and give students the chance to get questions answered immediately. Another education paradigm in online learning is independent versus collaborative learning. Collaborative learning opportunities such as group work, role play, and team activities help build relationships, and we find students are more willing to support and help each other. Collaborative learning also gives students opportunities to learn from each other and develop new understandings based on each other's ideas. On the other hand, independent learning supports certain learning styles and preferences, and sometimes it's easier to complete the work. Here's a model comparing asynchronous to synchronous e-learning. In the asynchronous environment that occurs across time, learners have a chance to sit back and reflect and to think about the material and content. It gives them time to process the information. On the other hand, synchronous or live interaction increases the motivation of learners to engage not only with each other, but also with the material. It allows them to come together and agree on the meaning and implications of content. So in the online classroom, When do we use asynchronous learning and when do we use synchronous learning methods? In this graph, Ratinsky suggests that the non-interactive environment of asynchronous learning is good for reflecting on complex issues. Examples of asynchronous experience include students reflecting in blogs or doing some critical thinking and then sharing their thoughts in discussion boards. For live interaction in the synchronous environment, students can get acquainted, plan out tasks and group work, and also discuss simpler issues and ideas. Synchronous activities are great to get students motivated and committed. If you're familiar with Google Docs, people can work on the same document together live and talk to each other using the chat feature at the same time. This is a great example of a synchronous activity that is available using online technology. In conclusion, online learning expands access to quality education worldwide. Online learning requires different skills and abilities by both instructor and student. Technology is a mandatory component of online education. Finally, there are a wide variety of strategies and methods for providing quality online education that can offer live experiences as well as opportunities to work independently. In the dawn of e-learning technology, we are just now beginning to imagine what education will be like for our children and for future generations.